on ESPN Plus number 11. We jump into the UFC light heavyweight division. We got Alexander Gustafsson taking on Anthony Smith. I want to jump right into the main event and give my prediction for this fight, man. I like your boy Alexander Gus getting it done here. Just think that he's fought the higher level competition. They both have something in common. They both lost to Mr. John Bones Jones. But I think Gus, his 5 losses on his record has been to the best of the best. Lost to Anthony Johnson, he lost to DC, and he got submitted by the great Phil Davis. So, those 5 losses aren't something to be ashamed of. Gus, to me, he's the better striker, and he has a lot better footwork, in my opinion. I just think that Gus will be able to pick Anthony Smith apart. He's going to have the reach advantage going into this fight by 3 inches. He's a taller fighter. And don't count out Anthony Smith, though. He has a lot of heart. He's an adorable dude. He mixes it up pretty well. He has more experience going into this fight. And one thing he might have advantage on in this fight is the ground game. Anthony Smith, we just seen him tap out Volkan Ozdemir. He has 11 submission victories, 17 TKOs. But Anthony Smith, most of his losses are from TKO. He's been TKO'd 8 times. We've seen that happen against Thiago Santos, who I think, isn't as good of a striker as Alexander. I think that Gus is by far one of the best strikers in the division, and he should be able to pick up the W here. So we got to go with Alexander Gus getting it done. As we move on to the co-main event, we jump right back into the light heavyweight division. Back to back, right? We got Falcon, no time, Ozdemir taking on the sledgehammer, Alir Latifi. Very tough fight here to call. Volkan Ozdemir is riding a 3-5 losing streak. Seen him lose to Dominic Reyes. And it was a very tough fight. Some people scored it for Ozdemir. But it didn't go his way in the judges' eyes, that fight. He got subbed by Anthony Smith. Lost to DC. So he's lost some tough guys, you know what I mean? And he's going to be the younger fighter going into this fight. Alir Latifi's 35. Ozdemir is going to be the taller fighter. 6'2" to Latifi's 5'8". Alir's coming off of a loss to Corey Anderson. But before that, he was on a 2-5 win streak where he beat Tyson Pedro in OSP. So, yeah, Latifi for sure. He's going to have the grappling advantage going into this fight. He has 4 submission victories. That could play a role in him getting a victory here if he takes it down in the ground, uses his wrestling like he did Tyson Pedro. And, he could possibly find a submission if it's there. But I think he's going to have a tough time being able to get it down to the ground. So I got to go with Volkan Ozdemir getting it done. I think he's going to be able to stay out on the outside, use his jab, use the 1-2, mix it up with a leg kick for sure. He's going to be having to stay on the outside and stay away from the wrestling of Latifi here to be successful. That being said, I just got to lean a little bit more towards Volkan Ozdemir. He's going to be the younger fighter also. So, yeah, we like Volkan Ozdemir, but like I said, Latifi has ways to win, get it down on the ground, possibly could edge out a decision, or also pick up a submission victory if it's there. But I think he might have a lot of trouble getting this fight down on the ground because Ozdemir has solid takedown defense, and I'm pretty sure he's been working on the things, that he's been having mistakes with in the fight game. But I think Ozdemir also showed a lot of heart in his last fight against Dominic Reyes, mixing it up with the takedowns of himself. So he scored some big takedowns, and he proved on his wrestling. So, yeah, we like Volkan getting it done. As we move on to the fight card here, we jump into another light heavyweight showdown. We got the return of the poster boy Jimmy Manawa taking on a high prospect right here who's really hot. Got a lot of hype around him. Alexander Rakic here. So Manawa, he's up there in age. He's 39 years old. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. And that's just the real reason why I got to pick Rakic to win this fight. Just think that Alexander is coming off a big win by TKO for Devin Clark. And I think he's ready to follow up with another TKO knockout. We've seen, Rakic pretty much make short work of a lot of people in his career, like Sergio Souza. And, most of his wins are from TKO. He beat Justin Letty. Also, like I say, TKO Devin Clark, which is a tough guy. Jimmy Manawa on the other side, man. Yeah, he's riding a 3-fight losing streak. And most of his losses are from TKO. He has 5 losses, and, 4 of them were from TKO. He lost to Thiago Santos, KO by Volkan Ozdemir. And, Jimmy Manawa, one thing that he does have going into this fight is experience. But, he's just been up there in KO lately, and I don't think his chin is still there. He's about to be maybe 40 years old. And I think this guy, Alexander Rakic, is going to be the one maybe to put Manawa away for good here. So you got to go with Alexander winning this fight. But Manawa, he has ways, man. He's a solid vet. You can't count him out. More experience, but I got to go with the younger, fresher fighter, the youth, Alexander Rakic, getting it done. So as we move on to another fight, we're going to finally switch weight classes here. We got Nakhon Americana taking on Chris Fishgo. Tough fight to break down. We've seen Chris Fishgo come off a big win over Daniel Tamer by submission. Most of his wins are from submission victories. Chris Fishgo has 13 submissions on his victory. Lost to Calvin Kattar on his debut. He's a very strong starter, in the first round. He throws a lot of punches and he moves forward a lot. He brings a lot of pressure. But his stand-up, to me, is really his weak point in the fight game. We know he's a phenomenal wrestler and he has solid submissions. But I think his striking's where he has a lot of holes in his game. And that's why I think I got to lean towards more Nakhon Americana here. I just think his stand-up is a lot more cleaner. Most of his wins also are from submission victories. So, they both have a solid grappling game. But I just think Americana would be able to stuff the takedowns, defend the submissions, and actually outstrike Chris Fishgo. Possibly could pick up a decision win. He has 4 decision wins. Also, he beats guys like Mike Wilkinson, Andy Ogle, and I just think that his striking is going to play a role in him being victorious here against Chris Fishgo. Fishgo cardio also is questionable. You don't know. Sometimes, after the second round, he really looked gassed out. So, I just think Americana also have the cardio advantage. So, therefore, we're going to go with Americana getting it done. As we move on to another fight here, we got Damir Hadzovic taking on Christos Giagos here. I like Damir getting it done, man. I mean, Wow, was I impressed with Demir in his last fight? I mean, the man lands some vicious ground and pound. I mean, he's really more known for his TKOs on the feet, you know. He has 7 TKO wins, but when he took Polo Reyes down to the ground, that really showed me something that this guy is a force to be reckoned with. He's a fucking hot prospect. He beat guys like Nakhon also. Beat Marcin Hell with a nasty knee. I just think that Demir, you know, he's only getting better. And that's the real reason why I got to go with him. His ground and pound is vicious. And you can't sleep on the stand up either. So he's a threat everywhere. But we know that the Spartan here is also coming off a big win. A Spartan is a tough guy as well. He holds wins over guys like Herdison Batista in the ACB. He lost to Charles Oliveira, and most of his wins are from TKO. And he has 7 losses on his record. But yeah, man, I think Demir is the real deal here, and he should be able to win this fight. We see that the Spartan is 5'10". He has a little height advantage and a small reach advantage, but I just think Demir is going to take that out of the fight. He's not going to be able to use that, and Demir should be able to win this fight. We move on to the fight card. We jump into the featherweight division. We got Daniel Tamer taking on Sung Bin Jo, making his debut in the UFC. Daniel Tamer's riding a 3-5 losing streak. Kid Dynamite fighting out of Sweden. I mean, he's going to be a short fighter. It doesn't show the reach advantage going into this fight, but I think the Korean Falcon, I mean, being 5'11", should have the height. I mean, should have the reach advantage. Definitely has the height advantage. Younger fighter. He's undefeated, and I think he's going to stay this way. I don't think that Daniel Tamer was really improved in UFC like that. I mean, he's getting more experience now. He has 9 fights. He lost to Chris Fishgo by submission, and you know, Julio Arce also subbed him. Daniel Henry beat him by decision. So yeah, we got to go with the Falcon winning this fight, and that would be it for the main card. But it was a few fights that stood out to me on the prelims. I want to talk about Leonardo Santos taking on Stevie Ray here. I really like Leonardo Santos to get the job done here. Stevie Ray has more experience going into this fight. He has a total of 30 fights. He's a shorter guy with a smaller reach advantage. Leonardo Santos for sure is going to be the bigger guy. He's up there in age at 39. But I just think Leonardo Santos should be able to pick up the W here. You know, Leonardo Santos has, you know, 9 submission victories on his record. So most of his wins are from submissions. And he beat Adriano Martins, TKO Kevin Lee, beat Anthony Rocco Martin. So he holds big names on his record. And I think he should be successful in this fight. But Stevie Ray, like I said, has 30 fights on his record. He's been in the game for a while. They named him Braveheart for a reason. You know, he lost to Cajun Johnson and Paul Felder, but he picked up a big win against Joe Lozon and Ross Pearson, 2 solid veterans. But I don't think he's going to be able to get the W here, so we got to go Santos. And then I want to talk about Nakhon versus Frank Camacho here. Nakhon is on a 2-5 losing streak, so is Camacho. So one of these guys got to get back in the winning column here. We see that Nakhon's 35 years old. He's up there in age. I like Frank Camacho getting it done here. I've seen Camacho come off of a nasty head kick loss to a solid Jeff Neal, and he lost to Drew Dober. So he's fought some decent guys. He beat Damian Brown. But I think Frank Camacho's striking is going to play a big role. I think he'll be able to stuff the takedown, mix up the striking. Most of his wins are from TKO with 16. But Nakhon is a solid, strong grappler. And Nakhon is a guy you can't take lightly, even though he's on a 2-fight losing streak. We've seen him lose to Demir and Davi Ramos. He got subbed by him. Most of Nakhon wins are by decision. So, he likes to get his takedowns and lay in prey pretty much. Besides that, he get a submission victory. So I like Camacho. I just think that his striking can play a role. He mixes it up. Nice jab, nice leg kick. And that should play a big role in his victory. He possibly could get the TKO. So we like Frank Camacho. And there's one more last fight I wanted to talk about between Darko and Devin Clark. Big, solid fight in the light heavyweight division. We know Devin Clark is a strong wrestler. His game plan pretty much is to get the takedown on you, wear out his opponent, and, impose his will on him. Brown Bear, most of his wins are from decision, 5 decision victories, 3 TKOs. He was on Find a Fight with Dana White. So Devin Clark at one point had a whole lot of hype around him. But I think his cardio is questionable. After the second round, he looks like he's kind of gassed out. He breathes a lot heavier in the second round. So I like Darko here getting it done. Most of his wins are by TKO. He beat guys like Jeremy Kimball. And he TKO'd him the first round in the UFC. So, he made his debut and got a victory on a big stage like the UFC. So that just shows that the guy is ready for, he's ready to make an impact in his division. On his debut, he KO'd a man first round. So it's a lot of hype around this guy. And I'm going to ride the hype train here. We got to go Darko. But like I say, you can't count on Devin Clark. If he's able to get the takedown and you leave a leg open, he will take you down and grind you out for 3 rounds. He has no problem with that. He has power in his striking, so you got to watch out for his overhand right. But he's really more known for his wrestling. If his cardio is up to par, he could possibly edge out a decision. But I think Darko is going to be able to get it done. So, yeah, man, those are pretty much my picks for UFC on ESPN 11. I didn't break down the entire card. I just really broke down the main card and a few certain fights that stood out to me on the prelims. So, thank you guys for watching, like, and subscribe. Yes, sir. I'm out.